recorded by Bob Seger. Number called Rosalie.
Hello, everybody, wherever you may be, from coast to coast, and sea to Shawnee Sea. Want to welcome you back to the Shack in Oregon. This is Ham Radio Live, show about radio for people who love radio. Going to be a fun show today. We're going to go around the world, show you shacks from people's shack around the world today, so you see what they've got. Plus, we're going to show you about how our conditions change depending upon frequency. Should be a fun show. From the Four Winds, welcome to show 386 of Ham Radio Live. Requested by Fred, Alpha 3 Romeo. This is Rosalie, Deep Cut by Thin Lizzy. I know he's happy in Delaware. Big contest weekend. We got some contests, some state QSO parties, and a whole bunch of stuff going on around the world today. So we got a lot to cover. Wherever you're coming from the Four Winds of the world, away we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Ham Radio Live, a show about radio for people who love radio. Very happy Saturday to you. It's great to see you guys today. Thank you for coming to the show. It's good to see you today, Saturday, February 5th, 2022. And we have a good show for you. I hope you enjoy it. We're going to do a little bit of segment on how you can handle maybe, some things going on the radio. Plus, we'll talk about the radio bands themselves. Why 80 and 40 don't quite work so good in the daytime, but 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10 do. Plus, we'll see if we make some calls on a big weekend on 10 meters. We'll see what happens. We want to help you get into ham radio. We really do. Contact someone like the Radio Amateurs of Canada. It's a great group, and they're very well organized up there. Please find them at www.rac.ca. Hit the Contact Us bar. Let them know where you're located. They're going to find a ham radio club that's close to you that'll help you get your license. Now's the time to do so, because as the solar cycle gets up, HF conditions improve. You've got about 2 years here before things start to really peak, and then we have the best solar conditions we have for 11 years. Get your license and do it now. Contact someone like the Radio Amateurs of Canada, www.rac.ca. Let's get over to Germany, see our friend Gunter, how he's doing with his outdoor experience in the cold.
K7HN. This is your friend, Uncle Gunther, DK50NV. From the shores of the Rhine River. I'm gonna wrapping it up. I'm right in progress to take the baby down. Oh yeah. I'll take hold on you later on, Larry. My fingers are cold, my toes are frozen, and my mouth is barely working. It was plus 6 degrees Charlie, but it felt way colder. We had 4 hours of sunshine, but we had a cold wind from the northwest, up to 25-30 miles an hour. Talk to you later on. Ham Radio Live, DK50NV, waving a hand.
If you'd like to send us a video, or maybe a photo of what you've got in your shack, or your radio gear, reach me out at cq@hamradiolive@gmail.com. We're going to be sharing some of that today with folks, and I hope that you enjoy that segment. We have a question today, and there is a big band going on, the 10-10 this week. The 10-meter band is hopping right now because of the big 10-meter contest this weekend, and we'll get to that in a little bit. First of all, I want to make some welcomes. First one in today, all the way from Germany. He joins us all the way from the German frontier. Welcome, Günther. DK50NV, first one in today. Welcome, buddy. Nice that we got your video in, too. That was fun. Andy News here from the UK. Hi, Andy. Good to see you. Very happy Saturday evening to you. Mike 7, Charlie Union November. Kim Cheney, good afternoon to you. Kilo Oscar 4, India Papa India. A very good Saturday. Thank you for coming to the show today. It's really great. And yeah, Phil Lynott did have a really good guitar, didn't he? I did good skills. Steve, hello, Steve. Good evening to you in the UK. Mike 7, India Whiskey Hotels joined us. So is Jeff Kulinak. Hi, Jeff. Welcome back, my friend. Kilo Delta 9, Romeo Yankee Tango. Very happy Saturday. Thank you for coming very, very much. Gunter in Germany, 10 meters work, but to be honest, did not impress much. Well, here in the Northwest, we've got a lot of 10 meters working right now. It's just Probably because a lot of folks in the U.S. are on 10, and that's probably what the difference is. He said 12 was very active, and yeah, we've got decent conditions today, better than yesterday. Colin, UK. Hi, Colin. Happy Saturday night, mate. Mike Zero, Oscar Papa X-Ray. Great YouTube channel here. Learn a lot about things from him, especially antenna. He says, enjoying a wee dram of nice single malt. Well done, sir. It helps make the show go better, I think, if you're drinking a little alcohol. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows? Greg, hi, man. Great to see you. Bettendorf, Iowa's here. Kilo Fox Zero, Charlie Union Zulu. Welcome to the show. James, hello, James. That's a first-timer, folks. Welcome. Kilo India 5, Oscar Echo Bravo. Welcome to the show, James. Nice to meet you, and thank you for coming. Hello, my friend. Kilo 7, Victor Foxtrot Oscar. Now, think about that call sign. You are Kilo 7 VFO, and you simply have the band if you've got that call sign. Welcome. Good to see you. Steve got his second ready contact. Look at 26 QSOs. Would have got a lot more if I didn't have a bunch of chores to do. Isn't that fun, Steve? Learning new modes and using them. And what's cool, like Icom rigs, they have a ready decoder right built in. Pretty cool. Speaking of Icom, let's get to the weather. Today, powered by Icom. Icom for the love of ham radio. Here is your A1A. Today's a good day. Turn your radio on. Here's the backside of the sun. We have 5 sunspot regions active on the backside. Corona holes, 51 is going away. That's why conditions are better. We've had the last 3 days of solar activity and no big M-class flares. Things have been pretty stable. K-index is down more to a reasonable level now at K3. Still active, but things are better than they have been. The condition out of Boulder, SFI 130. Solar number is 87, but the A-index is screaming at 32. That's really high. K-index is at 3. That means we're unsettled conditions for our geomagnetic field. A little bit noisy on the bands. Notice your signal noise level S2 to S3 today. BZ latitude finally is positive. That's good news. Solar wind is a little high, 605.4 kilometers per second. Notice 6-meter E-skip could be open in your area, and the HF conditions are pretty darn good today. We've got MUF map that I don't have for you, but I do have your forecast today. Daytime ham bands open, voice 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10 in the north. Same in equatorial latitudes in the south. We'll just make it simple. 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10 for voice. CB radio skip northern hemisphere, 11 meters should be open the mid and south latitudes. Data 30 to 10, all latitudes. Nighttime ham band openings 160, 80, 75, 60, 40, 30. Best EX in the north on 40 and 80 meters, 20 in the south. Going to work great for about an hour after gray line. 17 or your highest MUF will work great for you at gray line. Make sure you know your MUF. Okay, good place to look. The Kilo Charlie 2 Golf map, KC2G map, you'll find it. Shortwave band listeners, 31, 25, 22 in the 19-meter band should work great for you. And just shortwave nighttime bands should be 120, 90, 75, 60, 49, 41, 31, 25, 22, and 100% chance of 19 in the mid and south latitudes for about an hour after sunset. The signals fade away. Most of your great stuff is on the 49, 25, and 60-meter bands. Take a look for it. Listen around the world today. Great conditions for you to be on your radio, whether it be a ham radio or a shortwave. Today's topic question, what is your favorite contest or special event to work? Now, I know that we got people that don't like contesting. I know that, but keep in mind, we also have people that like to make calls, okay? So, for example, say you don't like contests, okay? But CQ Worldwide comes, and you've got people from every continent on Earth trying to make calls. Isn't that a pretty fun time to make contacts, right? You make calls into countries maybe you haven't ever worked before. Let me know what your favorite contest is. We'll make it part of the show today, and we'll celebrate you as well with some shack pictures. And we do have a thing that Andy requested in the UK yesterday. My wife thankfully did it. Karen helped out in her first video here for the show. We're grateful. I am. Karen shot a video segment of how this show is produced. So you'll have an idea of how I create everything and how the show is put together. So you understand the work that goes in, but also how everything works when we do the show. I hope you like that. Plus, we'll be sharing some people's shacks from around the world. Coming to the show on February 12th, next weekend, that's Charlie, November, Juliet 7, Victor from Red Summit RF in Arizona. Going to learn great ways to work portable. Charlie's excellent at it. He's going to explain it in a great way that you can understand it. Please join us. 20 UTC, that's 8 in London. If you're in the States, 3 p.m. in the Eastern Time Zone, noon Pacific. Over in Australia on the East Coast, that'll be 7 a.m. for you folks in VK land. Then the following weekend on February 19th, Jeff Doran live from New Jersey talking about beverage antennas. Yeah. And these are so important because they help your ham radio hear so much better. Really. I mean, it's like night and day. Remember, listening is very, very important, and these beverage antennas really help you do so. His call sign, November Juliet 2, Union Sierra's got a great YouTube channel. You can watch it daily here, and you'll be hearing him live and be able to take your questions. 20 UTC, February 19th. Please join us for that. The following weekend is my friend Tom, all the way in Bahrain, Alpha 92 Golf Whiskey, going to talk to you about using a portable and very easy to use adjustable whip antenna. Not hard to set up, not hard to break down, and you can work the world with it. He does it with 85 watts with his FT991 Alpha. And Tom's going to explain everything to us in a way that we'll really understand it. Tom's really a brilliant guy, and we're grateful to have him. That's February 26th at 20 UTC. Remember, that's 8 p.m. in London. 3 in the Eastern time zone here in North America, so 3 East and noon Pacific. Following weekend, March 5th, that's the Smokin' Ape right there, and that is where he lives, I think. Not really, but it's a cool background. I like it for a green screen. It's awesome. He's really creative, dude. And he's very nice, too. I mean, this guy, he explains things like it's a conversation to you. Like you guys are just having a chat. I love that about his channel. If you haven't ever seen the Smokin' Ape, please YouTube search it and watch his content. It's fantastic. He's going to come here on Saturday, March 5th at 20 UTC. We're going to talk antennas as well as ham radio and his YouTube channel. That'll be a lot of fun. Following Saturday, meet Kevin, Kilo Zero, Kilo Lima Bravo in Iowa. I am so jacked up for this show. It's going to be fun. Kevin uses the most unconventional things for antennas like silos and tractors and all kinds of things. And he makes them work. And best of all, he does QRP doing it. Kevin joins us live on March 12th, 20 UTC. Please join us for Kev. It'll be a fun show. All right, folks. And we're going to really celebrate some of you today and what you do as well as your shacks. We'll talk about how the show's produced. And we'll probably give you something a little bit about how to work an angry ham. What can I say? Let's take over the Crow's Nest, the Angry Hams, and we'll see exactly how the show is going today. I hope we're getting a better report than we have been. Let's take a look.
Run for your lives! This show is murder!
Well, we can always hope, right? We can always hope. Always hope. Happy Saturday to you around the world. Really mean that. Thank you for coming to the show. All right, so we've got a fun show today, and I'm really grateful you're here. We're really going to have a good, fun time today. We really are. We're going to have some fun with how you would handle an angry ham. And the right way to do so is to take it really quickly, okay? If you know they're going to be rude to you, the right way is to say, 73, your call sign, okay? Their call sign, your call sign, 73, that's it, done, period. Don't get into it. Don't get back and forth with it. But in your mind sometimes, you just might think, you know what? I'm going to play with this dude because I'm really not happy with the way he's treating me. So obviously you start to think about it and say, well, wait a minute. I simply don't like being treated this way, and I'm not going to be. If you're going to treat me this way, well, frankly, I'm going to tell you what I think of you. Frankly, I think that your dog is ugly, you don't have a good operating style, and maybe your wife could find better. But you don't do that. Instead, what you say is, look, mate, you just have to work people the way you want to be worked. That's it. You work people the way you want to be worked. Not everybody's a 5'9". You don't have to call me names, and I don't need to know about how much you hate me, okay? Just treat them kindly. Get them off the air and move on. There's plenty of frequency for everybody else. And if they want to be angry about life, then you go ahead and just be happy with yours. Never stoop to someone else's level, because when you do that, they win, right? You instead live your life in a happy way. Let them live their miserable lives. And at the end of the day, you walk away a happier person and you have nothing to regret. That's angry ham and how you deal with them. Even when they give you a whole bunch of crummy stuff, even if it's a crummy signal report and they start screaming at you and they say something like, yeah. And then, when you try and you say, okay, look, hey, mate, you're 3x2, 32 here into Oregon. Sorry. Hard to get him out. It's hard to get him out. Too easy. Günther in Germany, he says, field day isn't a contest at all. Every time I'm portable in the woods, shores in the weeds, I could call it field day. Yeah, I suppose so. If you're literal about it, you're in the weeds. True. Martin, looking from the shack this time. So he's not in the night shift. Martin, send us a picture of your shack. Really, we're going to have a segment where we're showing people shacks around the world. And one today is cool. This guy uses VR. The Oculus system, right, where you can play VR games and stuff. he's got it set up where when he makes QSOs, he can see around right about where he's hitting the gray line and making the call. It's really sweet. It's kind of cool. I hope you like that. I thought it was fascinating. Steve in the UK, today was the first ever contact I've ever got involved in. Need to work out how to get logs in right format. More fun things to learn. Yeah, ham radio is a learning hobby. It really is. You learn to log, you learn to talk, you learn to call CQ. So many things I think that we take for granted, new hams need to learn. And it takes time and it takes repetition. That's why I always say you learn to pass the test. The test is so different than ham radio, right? The test gives you stuff so you don't go and blow your helm up. But the ham radio is a different thing. So it takes time to learn it. And Steve, I'm proud of you. Keep up the good work, mate. You're going to do just fine. Whiskey 3 Mike Papa Golf. That means Rod's here from Pennsylvania. Hello, Rod. Happy Saturday to you. As always, it's good to have you. Rod Clare from Salem's here. Good to see you. He's learning as well and hanging in there. Uncle Hunt is here from Canada. Hi, Uncle Hunt. Welcome back. Hope the weekend is treating you well as well up there. Thank you. And Kim, yeah, just ignore the, this is a good, thank you, Kim, for saying that great advice. And Martin, ignore the ignorant. That's true. That's true. And Andy, yes, most are just attention seekers. There's lots of those guys out there. There really are. Watch them tune up on me. They do it all the time. Or they say something dumb, you know. And it's funny because it's like, okay, I can just move. There's lots of frequency out there. I don't need to stay on this band. I can go somewhere else. Let's get to trivia today. We got a pretty good game going on right now. The world is beating North America 40-30. Here's the first question. Faraday rotation applies to what area of radio communications? Is it A, tuning speed of a radio VFO? Is it B, propagation of radio waves passing through the ionosphere? Is it C, how fast electrons move around in a tube or transistor? Or is it D, how much shielding is needed in a transmitter? Faraday rotation. Think about it, okay? If you've ever, let me try and make this real good. If you've ever thought about satellite communication, Faraday rotation makes a big impact, okay? So Faraday rotation applies to what area of radio communications? A, B, C, or D? Let me know your answer, and we will let you know who gets it correct. Again, the answer is given A, tuning speed of a radio VFO, B, propagation of radio waves passing through the ionosphere, C, how fast electrons move around in a tube or transistor, or D, how much shielding is needed in a transmitter. Faraday rotation. Rod Clare, should I log a WinLink connection? You can. Yeah, you can do that. Nikolai in Romania, welcome to the show. It's always good to have you. Thank you, Nikolai. It's Yankee Oscar 8, November Indy Kilo. Welcome back to the show all the way from Romania. Greg answers C from Bettendorf, Iowa. How fast electrons move around in a tube or transistor? That's a good answer, but that's not it. Gunter has C as well. Steve in the UK has C. Andy New from the UK, Mike 7. Charlie in November answers B, propagation of radio waves passing through the ionosphere. And Andy got it correct. Well done, Andy. Yep, it is. Propagation of radio waves passing through the ionosphere. Keep in mind, you're working something like a satellite, okay? The radio waves going through the ionosphere, there is an issue going through to that satellite and coming back. Faraday rotation is part of that. So it has nothing to do with the other three. Congratulations to Andy New in the UK, which makes it now 50-30. The world is winning. Jeff had C. Martin in the Netherlands had B. And Jason, November 5, Victoria Hotel Tango, welcome back to the show. He had B as well, so he was right. All right, second question today on a Saturday on Ham Radio Live. This is going to be fun, man. Think about it carefully. This question almost gives the answer away. Coaxial cable came into common military use during which years? A, 1935 to 1940. C, 1940 to 1945. C, 1945 to 1950. Or D, 1950 to 1955. Coaxial cable, common with military use. A, 35 to 40. B, 40 to 45. C, 45 to 50. Or D, 1950 to 1955. Let me know with A, B, C, or D, and we will let you know the final score after Ham Radio Live Show 386 is complete. Hopefully, the people in North America is going to catch up because they're really right now. I think poor people in North America, they're a little bit in the weeds.
In the weeds, no signal. In the weeds, no signal, no copy. In the weeds.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. First one in on this, by the way, comes in from Bettendorf, Iowa. This Greg Kilo Fox Zero Charlie New Zulu. He says 1940, 1945, and he would be 100% correct. Greg, congratulations. You got North America back in the game. Well done. Yeah, it is. It is 1940 to 1945, and this one really gives itself away if you think about it. Okay, World War II was a time when any country involved in World War II was trying to find better ways to communicate. Okay, and coaxial cable made things simpler because you literally could go right to an antenna, screw it in, go right to your radio, screw the thing in, and your antenna's working. So coaxial cable and the development of it to make it really effective, great. And then after World War II, a lot of Army surplus really was during the time of like the 50s, 60s, 70s, where you get coaxial cable really cheap because military had it and they had lots of it too. So it was a really good time to, get some really good stuff. There you go. Also answering this question, by the way, and we want to thank you for coming this Saturday. Nikolai in Romania had B, Martin had C, Steve with B, Colin had B, Rod had B, Andy with B, Gunter had C, Jason had C, and Steve, Mike 7, India Whiskey Hotel. He's here in the UK, and he says, you're in the weeds, in the weeds.
In the weeds, no signal. In the weeds, no signal, no copy. In the weeds.
Yep, that's it. Yep. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about photos you guys sent. These are really inspiring to me, and they're really honorable. You guys would share them with me that we can share them on the show. I want to thank you for that. By the way, I also want to thank Fred, Alpha 3 Romeo, all the way in Delaware. Fred sent me $100 via PayPal. And what's really important for that at this time is that stupid mic exciter that we keep on trying to pay for, because there's always a bill that comes in, right? Last time it was the production software, right? So now we're $50 away from getting this thing bought and that one replaced. So I want to personally thank Fred, Alpha 3 Romeo in Delaware for that $100. That was a lot of money. A lot of money. Wow. Literally $50 away now from getting this thing replaced and having it sound right. So, and it makes a big difference. I'll hit, this exciter works sometimes. Let me see if I hit it and it works. You'll get an idea of the difference in audio. And there's the difference in audio. Wow. When they work, they don't do that. So there you go. Yeah. Nikolai in Romania, World War II had a big impact on everything, including radio development. Sure did. Sure did. Rod in Pennsylvania, just tell the Angry Ham you're going to work some 10-10 and sign off. Oh. And he says that because he got kicked out of the 10-10 group. My brother Bob, courtesy WFI, welcome, my friend. Uncle Hunt says, he says, currently working on a bathroom renovation. My wife has designed. There's sure to be a new antenna or tuner making its way to me once this job is done. Yes, then that's great. That's perfect. Yes, I've done all this work, honey. I really love to have this antenna. Do you mind if I buy it? Sure, honey, get it. Absolutely. Love your bathroom, right? Uncle Harold, it's good to see you. Thank you. Martin, hello to my brother. That's very nice. Thank you very much. Right. We got photos coming into the show. And these are nice because you guys send them of your shack and what they look like. And I think it's really fascinating. We also had Andy yesterday ask about how this show's produced. We'll get into that in a moment. But first, I want to share other people's stuff because it's really cool. This is Rod Clare Station, Kilo 7 Lima Alpha Papa in Salem, Oregon. Take a look at it. This is beautiful. He's got his world map right there, right? He's got his Yaesu FTDX 3000. Yep. He's got a Icom 9700. So he's got everything. He's got a couple of nice monitors there. Beautiful shack. Thank you for sending this, Rod. It's beautiful. Yep. Kilo 7 Lima Alpha Papa out of Salem, Oregon. Good work, my friend. We also did receive a wonderful thing. This is what Rod does. He builds guitars. Isn't that beautiful? He builds them out. Isn't that nice? That's Rod's work. He does it by hand. It's not bad. Of course, he doesn't, everything's on a machine, but he creates them. He creates electric guitars. Also, Jason Faulkner out of South Carolina, USA. This is his, and this is cool. I want you to understand how this works, okay? Because this is really, really cool. Imagine if you had virtual reality goggles on, okay? And you had a chance to kind of see exactly where the signals were coming in, okay? Kilo November 4, Zulu Union November. This is Jason's stuff. It's beautiful. Yeah, that's with VR goggles on, seeing where the signals are hitting the ionosphere and where they're coming back to the shack. I think this is phenomenal. Here's another photo. Look at this. Yeah. Imagine having the ability to kind of look out in the horizon and know where those signals are going. Very good work. Jason, thank you for sending me some good stuff. Good stuff. Really. This is good stuff. Love it. Good stuff. Okay, Rod, I'm sorry. I didn't realize an i700 is still missing. You said there was room for it, so obviously it made me think you already had it. Okay, so sorry for the terrible mistake. There you go. Let's take a look. And I do have a question here, and people asked about how the show's produced. First of all, let me show you what I have here. This is the shack, this is the studio, and how everything works, okay? You see where my operating position is in front of everybody. You see the clock there, so I know what time it is. It's vastly approaching showtime there at noon, but we just missed it today because I needed to walk the dog and needed to stretch. But the audio gear is right there to the left, and the one that's broken is the one that's off. That's the one at the bottom. That's the mic exciter. So that's the one we keep waiting to replace. And thanks again to Fred. Man, she's $50 away now. It's pretty cool. And you see the amplifier to the right, the tuner, the 998 MFJ to the bottom, the Icom 7610 on top, the CB radio, which is the Anytone Quad 6 down below. And that's a little look at my shack. And then when I got my license passed, what I really wanted to do, I didn't want dinner. I wanted a map. Really did. Because my goal was to put a QSO push pin on every QSO I ever made and still do it to this day. So that is my map that hangs on my wall. It's about 7 feet long, and you can kind of get an idea of how the room is. It kind of goes that direction, then the QSL cards are beside it, okay? All right, let's take a look at the equipment, how the show comes to you every day. Let's take a look behind the scenes. Okay, showing a little bit about how everything works in here. This actually, we've got 1 gig internet, so everything runs straight through the internet router box. The show itself, strangely enough, goes right through this little device here. It's a Focusrite Solo. I only have one and only need one input for it. I use an XLR cable that comes from all the equipment right here, which is everything that runs the show. This HIO piece here is what helps me to adjust the frequency of the signal coming in. So basically that's how I use it. And then here's some rocks that some kids made for me in the neighborhood. And the show itself is built on this computer here. This is a Mac Mini, but using a 4K camera, sorry, a 4K monitor. So everything kind of comes through crisply like it would if it was an iMac. So everything comes through here. It comes from the 7610 straight out into the Focusrite, but the 7610 video actually streams right through this video capture card. It's a Mira box, and they're not very expensive. You just simply buy them through Amazon or wherever you want to shop and get them that way. And there's the clock that Karen got me for Christmas. I'm grateful to have. It tells me UTC and world time, and QSL cards from around the world. So yeah, there are some things from the shack here. And the most important part, the license up top. Glad to have that in your shack. All right, so there you go. That's a little bit of how everything works electronically, so you can see how the show works. But there's a production element, right? How the show is done from a production element. When you do a show like this live, you do things differently, right? For example, if you watch a YouTube show where you see lots of edits, okay, you know it's recorded. And that's good because they work hard at editing, and that takes a lot of work and a ton of time. Since this show is live, everything is done right here. It's done with you because you're a part of the show. Now, there's a little bit of work that goes into creating each show. And since Andy in the UK wanted to see how that's done, here you go. Andy yesterday had a question on how the show is produced. And I showed you the equipment and how everything works here. This is basically creating a show. And to give you an idea, everything is done right through this window right here. These are my scenes. So in a video format, you'd think of this as a switcher. This is where the video switches from one scene to another. For example, when I start the show, you hear, you see this. You see the globe spinning around. And that's all animated and pre-done. Comes to me, and then the crowd is applauding and all that stuff. And that comes from right here in the sound effects area, okay? So all of the sound effects are right here. Every show element, I have to create each piece, okay? So when I start up to create a show, what I'll do is I'll have everything already on my phone. So I'll set my phone up with the elements I need from my phone so that I can essentially select the things I need. So I'll select the weather. Okay, I've got 2 weather segments here. I've got the segment that I'm going to be talking about how the equipment is in here. I've got weather segments I'm collecting here. Always have trivia questions, right? So we've got trivia, and I'll select the trivia that I want to use for today. Okay, and I'm going to use these 2 because I like them, and I really like this one here too. This good trivia question. Okay. Also received a special thing from Günther in Germany. I'm going to include that. I'm going to include the segment that I just played regarding how the show is done through the equipment. Then I have a choice. I can create where I want to send everything. I just airdrop it directly to the computer, and I put the phone on top of the computer. This is the Mac Mini computer that all you guys helped to purchase. So it just sits on top of that. And then from there, the show is created. Goes to my downloads folder over here on this side. And those are all the elements that I have to start the show with. To give you an interesting idea, yesterday while I was saying it was a lot of work, if you go back over here to the scenes menu, take a look at all this. This was the scenes from yesterday, okay? It started here with special event stations, and we went literally all the way down, all these scenes to go to all the way to here. So literally from that segment there at the end of the DXpeditions all the way up to here. And I'm just going to get rid of all those because they're just taking up space in the computer. So I take them as a piece, as a group, excuse me. I've got something I think on my mouse causing things to kind of mess up. So I'll take the whole group of them and I'll throw them in the trash so they don't take up space in the computer, okay? So let's make the weather segment. So we go through all of the forecast. And meanwhile, usually when I'm doing this, I'll have the radio on and up so I can hear it through my headphones usually. And I'll be taking a look at things like 10 meters. 10 meters is important. There's a big 10 meter contest going on right now. And you can see what it looks like. The band is full. So a lot of 10 meter activity today. So if I ever want to show the 7610, all I have to do is hit this plus button on the scene menu and it's right there. I automatically have the 7610 on the show. That's how it works. But we're getting rid of both those scenes, which is trashing. And we'll go through every one of the weather segments. We'll get rid of this because this is from yesterday. We don't want yesterday's information here because clearly that's it. Now it's ancient. It's older than I am, so we're not going to use that. Here's the Aurora stuff we showed yesterday from the north. Here's the Aurora Australis there. We'll get rid of that. We've got, of course, the information from QRZ here. And we have the Kilo Charlie 2 Golf map there. And when we get into this segment here, which is the forecast, okay, you can see a lot of things are on the screen here. I have to look at the forecast and what things are looking like on the radio to give me a really good idea of what things are doing. So today I'm going to be changing it a little bit. I'm taking out loud HF conditions today. So I'll delete that. And I'm simply going to make sure that it doesn't say some 10 meters because 10 meters is open in the north. And it's literally a great day to work your radio. So I'll get rid of short openings today on the 11 meter band because it's going to be open. So now I read it real quick, make sure everything says everything I want to say, hit save. Goes up here, and then there's a blue line that comes up, lets me know when things are centered on the screen, which is very, very important to me. This needs to be changed. It needs to be to 1 hour after sunset, so I'll just simply type in 1 hour after sunset, and the signals will fade away. That's for people in the southern hemisphere to hear 19 meters. And again, this entire segment of text, I'm going to go until it hits the blue line up there. Once it's blue line, I know it's completely straight. So I'll show you just the forecast segment, okay? We come in, I go for my downloads. First thing I'm looking for is the A1A, which is over here in the downloads. I'm going to pull it over onto the screen. It's always huge. It's gigantic because you couldn't see that on your screens. So I need to center it and make it smaller so you guys can see it, and it'll render right for YouTube. The next thing I show is the backside of the sun. That's the next photo I downloaded from my phone over to the computer. I make this a little bigger, center it so it's perfectly centered in the show. Wait till both blue lines meet, so when they X like that, when we get across, I know it's dead center. And we've got coronal holes, which is the bright yellow one that you see on the show. This is a little easier to manipulate. It's already the right size. I wait to center it, and there it is. The next thing I always do, because this is related really well to the sun, is the sun's activity over the last 30 days. And that's on this right here. I'm going to pull this over that I got from my phone. It centers automatically. So there's the last 3 days of solar activity. Solar activity, I always segue from there into the K index because that's the noise floors we have. This one's always got to be bigger because it comes out too small. So again, I'm waiting for it to center. And there it is, perfectly centered. After the noise floors, when we go into that segment, I'm always looking for the QRZ updated information, which is this one here. And you have to get used to seeing little tiny little thumbnails. And after a while, you figure it out, but it takes a little bit of time when you've got older eyes like mine to figure it out. And there's the QRZ information for that next piece. So I'm going to clear out a couple of segments here. So you've got 2 here that don't need to be here. Okay, those are just wasted segments from yesterday because those were the 2 we used to show the aurora, right? The next one is the MUF, and I'm not going to pull the MUF until about 15 minutes prior to showtime because I want to make sure I give you as close to accurate readings as I can. I've already got the forecast segment set up. This was one I used yesterday to show you about MUFs last night, which would be Thursday night, and how things worked. And there I am, because that's the question. So the second question's there. After all of this, we go into who's coming to the show. So I have these all in the switcher. They just come through just like this. Now, when I got to Kevin's, one thing I realized yesterday was I didn't have the date on it. And so it's going to be in Iowa. It's going to be Saturday, March 12th. Sorry, I pound on the keyboard so hard. And get a 2 back in there. And there we go. So now we've changed this so it has different information for Kevin. And I want to just make sure it's centered so I see that blue line come in. Perfect. We're good. Okay. Then we got the Muppets.
Is he a bouncing baby boy?
I don't know, but we're high enough up to find out.
So we have the Muppets, okay? And I've got Muppet segments I've saved on my phone. Each one's different. And so I'll go to my phone and I'll find a little Muppet segment that I can throw into the show. And typically they're very, very short. They're extremely short, to be honest. So I'll look through my phone and I'll find the Muppets. Okay, here it is. I'm going to share it. So it's going to go to the Mac Mini. And it's very easy. It comes up top here in the download section. And all I have to do is literally just slide it right on top. And it's changed.
Run for your lives! This show is murder!
There you go. So that's how that's done. So after we do the old angry hams, we do the trivia questions. I have to be careful because on a lot of these there are answers that were there from yesterday, so I have to clear those out. Okay, so I go back to the second trivia question. Chris got that one right. We go here, and Fred in Delaware got that one right. So I go and I have to change all of these. All right, these are already pre-selected for today's show. So if I showed you this part, you'd know the answers, but I'm going to show this after you see the answers to these questions. I run back over to the download section. I go to the oldest, the lowest numbered one, and these are tough because I have to really increase the size of them, okay? Move them till the blue line hits, and then I know it's centered, okay? Second trivia question comes in. I slide it over, and the same thing happens. I have to slide it over till it's big, then bring it over to the center. So once it's centered, I'm good. Now in this case, it's a little bit tight. I can always make it smaller, see? So it's easy to adjust. You just kind of use the mouse in a way that you're just making the size bigger or smaller. All right, so you guys get the idea. Yeah. So each segment is literally a block, and you go block by block by block by block, and you try and format it. I mean, this show, you know, being in radio as many years as I was, I understand a format clock. You try and do it the same way. So weather first, and then we get into opens with all of you. We spend time with the first time when we talk about what the show question is. And then we get into usually the the guests. And after the guests, we get into more talk with you. And then we get into the main segment of the show. That's how it works. Then we finally end with a sign off today, by the way, from New Zealand. So it'll be fun. That's how the show's built. It takes probably, in terms of time each day, probably about an hour and a half prep with the phone and then setting it into the computer another 30 minutes. So each day it's about 2 hours and 15 minutes to produce a 1 hour show. And I always hope it's going to be something you'll enjoy. It takes a lot of work for me, and I want to thank each and every one of you again for the amount of money you gave me, because without you, this computer wouldn't be here and this show wouldn't be here. So I thank you for all you've given to make this happen. Really makes it simple. I mean, it's a fast computer. It works really well. And for me, it helps because it works to do the show slick. So I'm grateful to all of you. Thank you for that. And so it gives you an idea behind the scenes a little bit. Steve in the UK, great to see behind the scenes. Really interesting. You've got a great workflow, which must have taken time to put together. Yeah, you know, and Steve, again, that's just from a lot of your experience being in radio. You know, you just get used to format clocks. And format clocks really are how you learn professional radio. I mean, because that's how it's all done. Depending on the station, every format clock's different. You just learn how the station is formatted, and then the music director has to have his stuff. Anyway, it takes a little bit of time, but you get it. You figure it out. Martin, greetings. XYL on background. Thanks for letting Larry do the show, and thank you again to Karen. She did a good job. She did good. She'd never done that before. And she was like, Larry, I think it's bad because it's really shaky. I'm sorry. I said, don't worry about it. This is not supposed to be professional. Just it's an idea to let people know how it's put together. So that's when you see the show, that's how it works. And that's the time that goes into it. Kevin in Iowa. Wow. Amazing behind the scenes. You do incredible work. Looks like a lot of fun producing a show. It can be. Yeah. The only thing you didn't see is the music that plays in the background. I usually listen to Classic American Top 40. There's on iHeartRadio. You can get anywhere. Just download iHeartRadio. And if you like the old Casey Kasem stuff, there's a channel that just plays nothing but Classic American Top 40. And I always try and get the 70s stuff because it's a lot of fun to listen to. Adam in Ocala, Florida. Hey, Larry, and all those on the stream. Hope you're having a good weekend. Same to you, Adam. I hope the weather's beautiful in Ocala, and welcome to the show. Good to see you, mate. Today's question, by the way, is what's your favorite contest or special event to work? For me personally, I'm not a huge contest person. I'm not a person that likes to play contesting. I like to make calls and talk to people and get to know them, but I'm really not a contester. But when it comes to things like Field Day or especially CQ Worldwide in the winter, oh my gosh, I love CQ Worldwide because that's when I can work places I've never worked before. You know, even if you're not a big contesting person, it's a good time that you can turn your radio on and just listen and find a station that maybe is from a prefix you've never worked before. That's my favorite part because DX is my favorite part in ham radio. CQ Worldwide definitely is my favorite of all the contests and all the stuff that we do in ham radio. That's my favorite. Yeah. John, welcome. Victor Alpha 3, Whiskey Juliet X-Ray. Great to see you set up. Thank you. That's very nice. I'm blessed. Goodness knows you didn't see the one thing. But for every show I pray. I do. I'll be honest. I'm not afraid to say that. I do. I pray before every show, and I always thank God for what I have. I am grateful beyond me. I don't want anything. I don't need anything. The mic exciter will work itself out. I don't need anything. I'm just very grateful and at peace with this. This is much more stuff than I thought I would ever have in radio. That's the truth. I never thought that I would have. Yeah, the directional antenna's not spinning around the roof right yet, but it's there, right? And so when you're at peace with what you have, that's the best part because you don't sit there and, long for something or want. I'm happy. I don't need anything. Mike, Jacksonville. Kilo Delta 2, Sierra X-Ray Delta. Hey, Larry and all. Sorry I'm late. Putting lawn staples down. Finally got his radials on his DX Commander Classic. Good job, Mike. Good job. Uncle Harold. I figured it was a lot of work to skill bringing the show, but wow, thanks for your hard work. I appreciate what you do for our enjoyment. That's nice. Thank you very much. And thanks again to Karen for doing that because she was nervous to do that because she knew that she'd be in the background. She really didn't want to say anything, but you notice if you remember when the Muppet segment came up, she laughed. That was my joy. Got to hear her laugh a little bit, little giggles. It's fun to do the Muppets in there. So yeah, and Kim, I'll let her know. Big kudos to Karen. That's good. Mike's favorite contest, CQ Worldwide. Yep, me too. It's where you make the good calls. Kev is working some good stuff. Mark Wicken, welcome, Mark. By the way, it's nice to meet you, and I thank you. Happy Saturday, Mark. Thanks for coming today. Well, Casey Kasem used to love listening as a teenager, watching the American football on Channel 4. Yes, we had 4 channels back then. That was life, man. Remember? I remember when I grew up in Portland, before Portland became a crazy city, that it was like, man, there's 5 channels, and we had it was 2, 6, 8, 10, and 12. There was no 4. Interesting, right? 2, every even number of 4, right? Okay. So then now digital's here, right? And so now there's these sub-channels. So now, like Channel 8 has 3, 6 has 4, and all these, so there's all these multiple channels. Back in the day when we grew up, man, there was just 5 or 4 channels, and man, they signed off at the air at the end of the day, and there was not 24-hour television. Things have changed a lot in our lifetime. Think about that. Think about the changes we have seen. We've seen, if we're old enough, we've seen people walk on the moon, right? We've seen the invention of the cell phone. We've seen the invention of the internet, which is probably one of the biggest technological, inventions in history. And we saw that, right? We have seen ham radio grow exponentially over our lifetime. Receivers just increase in performance. I don't know how they're going to build better receivers than they already have now. They have so high-tech performance on radios now. There's just such a great level of quality. We've seen a lot in our lifetime, haven't we, Mark? A lot. We really have. And it's really cool, to remember that our generation grew up climbing trees, skin on our knees, having fun, and going home when the lights went on at night because we knew it was time to come home, right? We'd play all day until the lights came on. And then we knew it was time to come home. Good stuff. Sean, hey, Larry, I grew up listening to Casey Kasem. Yeah, that's fine. Hold on. I'll show you. Okay, so at radio stations, back in the day, you would receive this. This was what you'd receive. Okay, and this is actually an American Top 40 show. This was when I worked at a station called KMJK in Portland. I was able to keep a few of them. I used to play the show. It was one of my jobs here. So you get the box, right? You open it up, and then inside is the actual show itself. The show until the mid-'80s was on record. Okay, so you have the record, a little bit of stain there, unfortunately, on this box. But this was, the chart date was 10/16 of 82. And it's interesting to know, right? So you get 4 records, you get 4 LPs. And on the LPs, you have everything. You have the show, the content, the music, and even the commercials that were national, right? So back in the day for this was like, I think it was Bubble Yum or Bubblicious. It was a bubble gum commercial that was on during Casey Kasem Top 40, American Top 40. Fun stuff. And the station on iHeartRadio that's redone it has remastered all these things into digital format. Excuse me for the noise. But they've remastered everything, so they've taken it from this into digital. It's beautiful, really is. So if you like Casey Kasem, iHeartRadio has a station. It's in Ohio, I think, that does nothing. It's, again, a sub-channel of an FM station that plays nothing but American Top 40 all day, all night long. It's cool. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, I love that stuff. I'm a big fan of that. Colin in UK, not a big contest person, but really enjoyed CQ Worldwide CW. Last time worked QRP 5 watts, working 48 DXCCs as well as a lot of DX. Good for you, man. That's fun, and that makes a lot of fun. Yep. Martin in Holland, not much a contester, just love to make contact. Got on 10 meter W3 Papa Alpha Lima from US with vertical 50 watts. Great call, Martin. Great work, mate. Wow, that's good. Congrats. That's a great call. Yeah. Yeah. Amen, right? Yeah, we grew up in a good time. We did. Jason Heff, welcome back. It's great to see you. Happy Saturday, Jason. Yeah, happy Saturday. It was similar in the UK. We had 4 channels as well. Yeah, I mean, we didn't have many channels. There's only so many TV channels you could have because there'd be a market 200 miles away, and that was a big market too, and they had to have TV channels there too. So you had to be only so many channels, but now things are a lot different. Greg, Kilo Fox Zero Charlie and Zulu, watched a show on YouTube saying the MOSFET transistor may be the most significant invention. Yeah, absolutely. Oh gosh, yes. And the reason for that, if you really know a lot of old radios, receivers, okay, or transmitters, they're huge and they're heavy. And part of that, they have to have a big heat sink. They have to have a lot of tubes, right? And a fan, and they're just big. Now you go to a MOSFET, shrinks everything down. You've got a smaller heatsink. You got fans that are quieter. Everything's different now than it was. Instead of big tubes or valves, as they're called in the UK, now you have transistors and everything works so small. That's why like the 7600, 7300, 7610s, and 9700, the FTDX10, the 101s, all that stuff are small, right? Remember, that's a receiver and a transmitter. And the reason why it all fits so small is because of MOSFETs. That's the biggest improvement to ham radio probably in the last 50 years. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Also, amplifiers, right? Okay, I've got an ELS 1306. It's got 4 of them. So, I realize what you're saying. Transistors made a huge difference. Nice comment, Greg. I think that's the comment of the show. Thank you for doing that. That's good. That's good. Will wasn't allowed to watch ITV. That's not good. I'm sorry. Sorry, mate. There you go. Rod in Pennsylvania, don't forget, we drank from a garden hose. We doggone well did. Yes, we did. We did. Man, the summertime, right, man? It was hot days, right? And, you were hot, you were playing with your friends, and you just, everybody just went to the garden hose and you all drank. You did. And then when things got out of hand, you started spraying each other. It was a lot of fun. We had a good time, right? Everyone went home when the lights went on. Just happened. And you need some toppings on that pizza. Okay. We'll do a What's Your Favorite Pizza Topping show. That's good. That's funny. Uh-oh. It's been a while. It's been a while. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. We must activate the woofing filter.
Some bitch. Don't you cuss on this here radio. I apologize to all the friendly folk who are listening.
It's been a while since we did the woofing filter. It's all right. Yeah. It does look like a pizza delivery box, doesn't it? Yeah, the Casey Kasem thing. It does. Yeah. Uncle Harold in Canada. He says, as kids, we rode in the box pickup truck and enjoyed every minute of it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Especially going to the drive-in, right? You have the pickup. You got the blankets or the sleeping bags and the pillows and stuff, and you all had just a fun time. Oh. We grew up in the greatest time in history, I think. I really do. And for young people that are like 30 or something, I'm not knocking your generation. Please don't think that. You're the digital generation. You're 10 times smarter than us, and we totally acknowledge that. It's just that we grew up in a more simpler time. We didn't have a cell phone tethered to our hip. We didn't know what they were. We spent more time enjoying life. We did. We were out playing in the rain and the sun, climbing trees, breaking arms. We just had fun. We were kids, and it was a simpler time. Less TV, no internet, no cable, right? We just enjoyed life, and we had a wonderful time. And a big deal was going out to dinner. That was a big deal for my family. It was really a big deal for us. We didn't get to do it very much. Let's take a look at 7610. He's right there. He's still calling CQ.
In the weeds, no signal, no copy, in the weeds. What a crap signal report.
He's still calling. Let's move, please. Oh my. Let's just make sure we're on the right setting. Sorry.
Para que vea la porquería que yo hago ahí, Manuel. Grupo Paseo, Víctor Eco Tango, Whiskey 5, Zulu Extra y te entrega.
We'll take this one. I'm not going to have the amplifier on.
Ok, pues él, Juan, seguro que sí. De eso es que se trata, de eso es que se trata. Hay que mantener la mente despierta por ahí, porque si no, ya tú sabes.
Kilo 7, Hotel November.
Por acá en Puerto Rico, que le dicen Guille, morir full, ya tú sabes. Porque que
Puerto Rico.
uno no tiene la mente despierta haciendo cosas. Yo mismo, yo estoy en mi casa también. Yo me encuentro en mi casa, estoy lesionado. Me lesioné ayer, mira que me lesioné un hombro.
So we're 28,380 on 10. Sounds like a signal's coming from the Caribbean.
Yo soy una persona bien.
But it's a rag chew. Here we go. Gun tester.
I worked another station in Arkansas a while ago, and he had a real whopping big signal, too. So apparently I got a pipeline in that direction down there anyhow. Anyway, I want to thank you for stopping by and giving me a contact.
Jason, yeah, good comment. He was Shaggy on Scooby-Doo. You're right. And they were golden days, absolutely.
RAR in Arkansas, K7, Quebec, X-ray Golf in Oregon, 73, Bill. 73. Kilo Bravo.
Kilo 7, Hotel November.
Okay, I've still got several stations calling. The 5 Bravo Lima, your full call. Kilo Bravo 5.
This guy's close. He's in Oregon.
Okay, I got that. Kilo Bravo 5, Bravo Lima Zulu. Please copy. Kilo 7, Quebec, X-ray Golf, Bob in Oregon. Engine number 5956.
Sounds a little off in frequency.
KB5DLZ, go ahead.
QSL Bob on the 5956. My name is Mike. I'm in Oklahoma. My 1010 is 69789.
So again, this is the 1010 net. This is the 1010 group doing their yearly contest on 10.
DB over 9 here. Whopping big signal out of Oklahoma today, Mike. Thanks much for the contact. KB5DLZ, K7 Quebec X-ray Golf in the 1010 QSO party. QRZ.
Kilo 7, Hotel November.
Hotel. Okay, the call ending in hotel. Call ending in hotel. Come again.
Kilo 9, Radio Bravo Hotel. Rick 0, Indiana.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna go and use the amplifier. I don't need to. He's an Oregonian, so he's close. So we'll just move on. A lot of activity on 10. This is simply because they're doing the 1010 contest. May back off on the noise reduction a little bit. That's our friend in the Caribbean. But look at the activity. 10's really good. At least right now here in North America, it's good. this part of North America seems to be working pretty well. So yeah, 10 meters, there's definitely some calls to be made. Let's do this. Let me listen real quick. I love to work 10. 10's fun. 10's going to be golden soon during the solar peak. Oh boy. Going to be a good place to be. Okay, so little weak. We're at 2.7 kilohertz bandwidth. And we'll try and see if we can bring him in a little better. This is a weak signal, but he could be QRP. Florida. And we'll try just 100 watts, okay?
But this is John out here in North Florida. You got a great signal, Roger.
And that's this is bringing up the RF gain as my volume is what I just did. That's why the waterfall changed.
Roger, Roger. Okay, KC7
Kilo 7 Hotel November. I'm not sure if he's calling me. And there's everybody piling in. That's too bad.
Where I'm at, there isn't a whole lot of CB.
1010 contest.
Okay, so someone just jumped right on that frequency. Let's see what their call is.
Contest, secure contest, November 5, X-ray Zulu, 1010 contest.
Kilo 7 Hotel November.
Kilo 7, Hotel November, thank you for the call. This is Al in Texas, 1010 number 4530, QSL.
QSL, I don't have a 1010 number. You're a 59 here into Oregon. Nice to meet you, my friend.
Thank you. What is your name, please?
Name is Larry. Lima Alpha Romeo Romeo Yankee QTH, Independence, Oregon, my friend.
Thank you very much, Larry. I appreciate it. 73 QRZ, November 5, X-ray Zulu.
That's it. Simply, you just make your call, you tell them you're not a member, and that's it. So that's November 5 X-ray Zulu. And to be fair, I think the right thing to do is always to log him because, you know, you got to do that. So we'll quickly go into the log and get QRZ up, and we'll just make a quick log and make sure we, you know, get him because that's, you know, they're working the contest too, and you try and do that, right? So we'll just do that real quick, and we'll add him to the list. November 5 X-ray Zulu. So number 5 X-ray Zulu, and keep in mind, I'm not using the amplifier. We're just making calls, and that was it. So we are in 10 meters. Click on 10, and we're going to go to 405 because that's where he was. And we're just going to chair 5 nines. That's all. My power was 100 watts. And this is, you don't have to put that in, but, you know, whatever. And then that's it. We just say thank you here. And then you save record, okay? And then we'll get the stats on the call. So November 5 X-ray Zulu from here at 100 watts was to Richmond, Texas, okay? And in distance, whoops, went the wrong way, sorry. In distance, that is right about 2,936 kilometers. So good call. Nice call for 100 watts and a really good way to start this. So that's something I really enjoy about, you know, you don't always have to use an amplifier. And that's something I really want to keep, you know, impress upon you. You don't have to use an amp. You just use 100 watts and you can do a lot with 100. Okay. You can do a lot with 10.
November 5 X-ray.
Big signal here. And in fact, what we'll do, let's go down to a non-contest band. Should be a lot of people here on 17 today because there's so many others that are contesting. So let me quickly make sure that my SWR is okay here on 17. Just a moment. Somebody's here on this frequency. You just make sure, you know, you listen, right? You just don't want to transmit on top of somebody. Okay. Is this frequency available? Kilo 7 Hotel November. A little high in the SWR. Checking frequency availability. Kilo 7 Hotel November. Now, you see the SWR, it went down to nothing. It doesn't mean that you've tuned your antenna. It just means that your radio's happier now. That's all. And we'll see with, again, the 17-meter element, I've got a little bit of problem with it, obviously. So CQ on 17. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Kilo 7 Hotel November calling CQ. CQ, any station, anywhere. From Oregon, this is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Kilo 7 Hotel November calling CQ to any station, anywhere, and standing by. Again, please. No, it's not there. We'll try again. CQ. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Kilo 7 Hotel November calling CQ. CQ. Any station, anywhere, from the wine country of Oregon and streaming on ham radio live on YouTube. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Kilo 7 Hotel November calling CQ on 17 and listening. So I'm having a little hard time hearing you. If you want to work with me, I'll work with you. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Microphone back to you. I just don't have your call sign. Is this Kilo 0 Kilo Lima Bravo? Okay, Kev, I'll give you a signal report on the way back, okay? Kilo 0 Kilo Lima Bravo, Kilo 7 Hotel November. What are you using for your antenna and how many watts? Over. Kilo 0 Kilo Lima Bravo, Kilo 7 Hotel November. Kevin, how many watts are you using here and what is your antenna? Over. I'm trying to give him a signal report. Okay, Kev, I'm sorry, buddy. I just can't get you. You're just too far down in signal. I can't hear you. You're below the noise floor. Sorry, mate. Thank you very much for calling. I probably, if I was giving you a signal report at the very beginning, it probably would be somewhere around a 3x1, 31. And I'm sorry it's so low, but I know you're QRP, mate. I'll give you 73. Wow, let me do this over again. Sorry, Kilo 0 Kilo Lima Bravo. Kilo 7 Hotel November. Kevin, the best to you and your family. God bless you. Thanks for calling in. And see, we just can't hear him. And Kevin likes to do QRP, and there's nothing wrong with that. I admire people that do that. He's using low power, but we just can't hear him through the noise today. It's just not there. Kilo 7 Hotel November QRZ. Again, please. Whiskey 4 Hotel Kilo Juliet. You did it. Welcome. Good to meet you, man. This is Larry in Oregon. My call sign Kilo 7 Hotel November. QTH here is Independence, Oregon. It's about 50 miles or so southwest from Portland. On the next over, I'll give you a reasonable signal report. Microphone back to you. Whiskey 4 Hotel Kilo Juliet. I'm just putting him in my log here. Okay, I've got you about a 53 here into Oregon. Nice signal. I can hear you. You're above the noise, which is fantastic. Thank you so much today for calling in. What are you using for equipment today? What are your working conditions? Over. Well, it's working really well for you. It really is, Wallace. It sounds great, and I'm grateful to make the call with you. I really am. Sounds good. Now, are you using the DX Commander antenna over there?
DX Commander. Things work pretty good for me. It's the first time I've been able to copy you. You've got a good signal today.
Well, you sound fine. You really do. Like I say, 53 here from Oregon. I think that's fantastic. I mean, we're quite a ways away, no question. What was my signal report again? Over? Thank you so much for the 5x8. I appreciate that. That's nice. I appreciate that. It's a long ways. You know, considering between the two of us how far apart we are, you're over in Alabama, 100 watts, quite a ways. We're making the distance, that's for sure. Well over 2,200 miles. So, man, I want to thank you so much for calling. This is nice to meet you. I mean that. Whiskey 4, Hotel Kilo Juliet, Kilo 7, Hotel November. God bless you and your family, and thank you so much for making the call, my friend. And that's Wallace Kirby out of Alabama. You don't need an amplifier. 100 watts is fine. Kilo 7, Hotel November, QRZ.
X-ray 1, Mike Alpha Delta.
Mike Alpha Delta, could you come back with your prefix, please?
Kilo X-ray, Mexico America Delta.
Kilo X-ray 9, Mexico America Delta. I'll give you a signal report on the way back. Having a little bit of a computer issue. Those darn computers, we trust them to make calls for us and write them down, but then we go and rely on them to work. They don't do sometimes. I'm just playing. I hit the wrong button. Welcome back. It's nice to meet you. My name's Larry. Lima Alpha Romeo Yankee. My QTH here is Independence, Oregon, right about 50 miles or so southwest of Portland. Over.
Kilo 7, Hotel November, Kilo X-ray 1, Mike Alpha Delta. You are 5'9", currently moving around 5'5" and back and forth, but on the track solid. Mike Alpha Delta, and I'm in Smithfield, Rhode Island. Capital Providence, Rhode Island.
Okay, let me verify your call sign, please. I've got Kilo X-ray 9, Mike Alpha Delta. Is that correct? Oh, boy. Okay, hold on a second. I'm sorry. Could you say it again for me? I'm getting a little bit of crackle on my side. Okay, I've got the kilowatt. I've got the Mexico America Delta. Fill in between Kilo and Mike, okay? I'm not getting that come up. Okay, the problem I'm having, I'm not getting that coming up, so I'm missing something in your call sign, and maybe I'm just not hearing you correctly. Please understand, it's sometimes hard for me to hear the call signs when they're coming with a lot of fade like we have conditions today. It's not your fault, just conditions. Let's try it again. Call sign, I do have the Mike Alpha Delta. I do have that, okay? What's the part before that? Okay, is it Kilo X-ray 1, Mike Alpha Delta? All right, thank you so much, Matt. It's nice to meet you all the way in the state of Rhode Island today. Thank you. I've got the signal report actually, because we've got a little bit of fade, but you did come up at one point to about a 55 all the way to Oregon. That's great work, man. What are you using for your radio? There was some fade first. We brought him up a little bit. Very good. Well, you know what? We got some QSB, my friend. I'm going to let you go. I thank you, but I do want to get my signal report from you. What was my signal report again? I'm sorry, Matt. What was my signal report? Kilo 7 Hotel November, microphone back to you. Kilo X-ray 1, Mike Alpha Delta. My friend, I got to get that signal report back. What was that signal report again? If do me a favor, would you? Okay, Kilo X-Ray 1, Mike Alpha Delta. We have a 5-year-old that's picked up the microphone, and he's playing radio right over the top of you. It's a joy for him because, you know, this is the first thing he's ever done that's meant something to him. So I need you to go ahead and just give me that signal report, okay? That's all I need. I'll make it sure we get that in the log, okay? I don't want to lose a guy. Kilo X-Ray 1, Mike Alpha Delta, Kilo 7, Hotel November. What was my signal report, mate? All right, say again. Again, we've got a guy who's on top of you purposely because his joy in life, honestly, is to wet his pants and play on the radio. So he's just having a ball right now. He's sitting there in wet diapers and he's got the hold of the microphone. He's talking on top of you. Just give me your signal report a few times. I'll have it down and we can make it over. It's fine. He's just having a fun time with this new electronic toy. He literally stopped using the CB last night and thought, hey, ham radio, let's try that now. I'm going to be a CB guy on ham. Kilo X-Ray 1, Mike Alpha Delta. Let me just get that signal report. We're good to go. Okay, mate? Yeah, we can't copy you, buddy. Sorry, if I can get the signal report, we make it happen. Kilo X-Ray 1, Mike Alpha Delta. Kilo 7, Hotel November. God bless you, mate. All the best to you, okay? Kilo 7, Hotel November. Where QR's at? CQ on 17. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Kilo 7 Hotel November calling CQ. CQ, any station, anywhere from the Pacific Northwest of Oregon and streaming on Ham Radio Live. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November, Kilowatt 7 Hotel November, calling CQ to any station, anywhere and standing by. And there we go, 17 meters. Okay, so 17. Now let's do this. It'll be fun. Let's go down. We're going to go QSY to 40. Kilo 7 Hotel November QSY. Okay, we're going down to 40. And what we're going to do here, and again, the microphone just clicked over, but I'm not using it. It's not engaged, okay? So we're going to go on 40, and we're just going to try something real quick. Let me check my SWR. Is the frequency in use Kilo 7 Hotel November? Sorry. Is this frequency in use Kilo 7 Hotel November? It's really high, huh? Pretty bad, mate. So we're going to use the external tuner real quick, and we will get it tuned in real well. And we'll try something real quick. We'll just see if I'm making a call. The big difference is we're reaching the East Coast now, right, on 17 meters, right? So if we're on 17 reaching the East Coast, on 40 meters daytime, we simply won't because 40 meters is great for nighttime. It's just the D layers here, okay? Signal. So, might have a little contester here. We'll see. And this could be from British Columbia. I'll get your comments in a moment. I will. Sorry about that. You got to hear the little thing when I had fun with the little guy that, you know, he got his ham radio license today, right? Let's see if we can make the call to him. And 40, this is going to be where you're not going to get long distance because the D layer is going to absorb most of your signal. You're not going to get the same distance typically. You just won't because your D layer absorbs your signals during the day and it's daytime here, so we're not going to make long calls. Someone about here.
CQ British Columbia QSO party from Victor Echo 7 Whiskey Juliet.
Kilo 7 Hotel November.
Okay, the Kilo 7 again.
Kilo 7 Hotel November.
Okay, Kilo 7 Hotel November. Please copy 59 November Victor Alpha. Roger.
Kilo 7 Hotel November. Copy on that. Thank you. You're 59 into Oregon. 59 Oregon. Thank you so much. Where are you located at?
North Vancouver, British Columbia.
That'd be right. Okay. Thank you so much. Enjoy the contest and good luck to you. This Kilo 7 Hotel November QSY.
Yeah, thanks for the call and good luck. This is Victor Echo 7 Whiskey Juliet calling CQ BCQ so party.
There you go. There you go. That's how you do it. So, again, when you're on the lower bands, right, we go on to 40, and I'm going to quickly change my log over to 40 so we can log him because, people, they want to run the log, and that's it. Well, they want to be in the computer. So 59 and 59, 100 watts, and there we go. See, and again, it was working to British Columbia on 40. And you think about his signal. His signal sounded pretty good, really did. But I want to get you an idea of just how far he was so that you can get an idea. And again, he wasn't really strong. We gave him a 59 because that's just, that's what, contesters do because that's what we do if you're contesting. But with that call sign again, he's in Vancouver, which is right about, 350 miles north of me. So that's about 350, which is normal, right? 350 to 600 miles. You should get that out of 40 meters during the daytime. When you go nighttime, okay, it works a lot longer because the D layer is gone. That's the big difference. Okay, let's get your comments and we will close the show from here. Again, it's a good weekend. Be on 10 meters. You'll do well on 10, do well on 12, do fine on 15. 17 is a good band if you don't want contesters because, again, it's a work band. No one's going to be there, so you can make calls there. Same thing with 30 and 60 meters, too. You won't have to worry about any contesters on those bands. Just remember, 60 is 5 channels, 30 is digital. So you're only going to be able to use digital modes like CW or FT8. That's 60 meters. But that's 30 meters. But you'll have a lot of fun this weekend. The conditions are better than they were yesterday, and ham radio is fun to be a part of, right? All right, let's catch up with your final comments, and we will close the show today. And we'll thank you. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do when you do shows. People do the dumb stuff, and sometimes you just gotta kind of make fun and just kind of push it their way a little bit. I don't mind doing that sometimes. Lee, welcome. Kilo Oscar for Echo November Papa, welcome. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Sorry, I'm so loud there. I found ham radio live by looking for Morse code practice. Oh, gosh. I'm sorry, mate. This is not Morse code. No, I wish I was better at it. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm honest, though, right? We get together about noon Pacific every day, just to give you an idea, Lee, and we just talk radio. We do. We just talk about radio, and we always have a topic question, right? So our topic question today is, what's your favorite contest or special event of the year? So we talked about different contesting and special event things, and that's really what it was about. So when we talk about that, excuse me about that, I don't mean that to be a part of it. But when we talk about stuff like that, it's it's for content for people to talk and share their content around the world. So we all have a chance to speak and talk about different things. You're welcome to come anytime. We'd love to have you part of the show, Lee, and thank you for coming. Sorry I don't have some CW stuff for you today. I apologize. Wish I was better at it. Colin in the UK, in a year or two, you'll be working Europe with ease on 10, especially at our daytime. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, no question. He said 11 and 12. I worked many West Coast, North America at our gray line on 10 meters. Absolutely. 10 meters is going to be the best band you can be on. Seriously. Tom in Bahrain, welcome, man. It's the middle of the night there. Alpha 92 Golf Whiskey. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you coming. I mean that sincerely. Roger McKeon, thank you. Better late than never. It's always good to have you. Kilo Juliet 7 Lima X-ray. Glenn Stevenson in VK. 10 meters is quiet down here, mate. I'm sorry to hear that. That's not good. Well, quiet in Holland too. You've got to be kind of in that afternoon, right? Try it about 11 a.m. your time to about 3 p.m., right in that 4-hour window. Go on to 4 to 10, even maybe a little later, probably not later than 4:30. But if you go right about 11 a.m. till about 4:30 p.m. your local time, watch what 10 meters does. It'll be a lot of fun. Andy Cowell in the UK worked 20 contacts on 10 meters for the 10-10. I bet you did. It's good conditions, absolutely. Martin, yep, Triple L. Listen, learn, and look. Listen, learn, look. Sorry about that. Tom says, looks like we need to think about working on 10 next weekend. 10's coming live. Absolutely it is. Absolutely. And Steve, good night. Have a good evening. Thank you. Rod, got you 5'8". The other guy was weak. He was, yeah. And Mark did some 10 meter this week. Good for you, man. On the mobile. That's good. Good for you, man. 10's good. It's a great place to be. Smoking Apes here. Hey, man, good to see you, buddy. Happy Saturday. It's nice to have you. Thanks for coming. It's nice to have you. Happy Saturday, pal. Good to see you, pal. Yeah, Larry's about done now. He's about done. Yeah, I had his call sign right. I just could never get the signal report back. That was one of the things. So, yeah. We just had somebody on the bands that was just kind of being a dork. The way it goes. He said it was 58. So Martin had a 58. Kevin said a 55. Andy had a 58. Yeah. Oh, no, I don't get upset. So when people do that sometimes, I will do things like that because it usually shuts them up. Typically, they just go away. And he did. So that's why I said that. Rob's here from Michigan. Kilo 8, India Bravo X-Ray. Welcome back. Good to see you. And keep in mind what he was doing. What he was doing was illegal. What he was doing was QRM. He was causing QRM, so I couldn't hear the Rhode Island station. He was over the top of him, and he was light enough purposely to say some stupid stuff. And when you do that, that's illegal. There's a lot of people on the ham radio, unfortunately, that do that. Not a ton. There are some. But, sometimes it's really nice to be able to throw it back their way, too. Because if they're going to be stupid enough to cause QRM on your frequency, you might as well call them out for it, too, if they're going to be kind of a jerk, right? Welcome, Michael. 1212, Baldwin Park, California is here. Welcome, Mike. Good to see you, and a happy Saturday to you. Thank you for coming. Yep, sometimes you have to have fun. That's what you do. And, it is a hobby. I think that sometimes when you work a radio, and people on YouTube, if you do it live, you're going to have people that just want attention, right? And so sometimes throwing things back their way is a little bit, well, let's just say it's a little bit nice. And the good Lord blessed me with a mind that can think pretty quickly, so put down sometimes are pretty easy to come by if you're acting like a doofus. Yeah, that's life, right? But you just don't take it. If they come on your frequency and do it, and they're doing it over and over again to go over somebody's signal report like they do in Rhode Island, nah, not cool. Not cool. I did log him too. I logged him. I thought he said 55. And so folks that said 57, I have him in my log here as a 55. So that's what I had. And I logged him. That's a nice call. That's from Rhode Island all the way to Oregon, 100 watts. That's not bad, right? Right. All right. Folks, I think we're going to close it. We did show a little bit about how 40 meters, if you're going to work it during the daytime, V-layer is going to attenuate your signals, right? So you're not going to make long distance calls. It sucks up most of the signal. That's what it does. It still makes it through, but you're going to go short. Once you get to around the MUF or a little bit lower, say, for example, we look at the MUFs and they might be like, say, 21.5. Okay, that'll cover 15 meters, right? So you can work 15. Work close to the MUF. Makes a big difference. Most people don't work close enough to the MUF. They work down lower. Try and work close to the MUF. Watch what happens. It's amazing what you happen. You always try and work as close as you can to the maximum usable frequency. Let your radio have some fun. All right. Till we meet again. Thanks for watching Ham Radio Live. Get yourself a ham radio license. It's fun as heck. This is the best hobby in the doggone world. Contact someone like the Radio Society of Great Britain, www.rsgb.org. Hit the contact us bar. Let them know where you're located. They're going to get you a ham radio club that's close to you and help you get licensed. www.rsgb.org. Anybody took offense to what I did to the guy causing QRM on purpose to me? Please forgive me. It wasn't meant intentionally to upset you. It's just to set a lesson to somebody who's not doing the right stuff. Till we meet again. God bless you. Thanks for watching Ham Radio Live. Goodbye, everybody.
It's time to say goodnight. We hope you've enjoyed Channel 2's programs. However, the World Parade continues on Sky. News as it happens direct to your living room 24 hours a day from the world's leading and most authoritative news gatherers. Tune in now to Sky News on the Sky Entertainment Channel. It's Good Night from Channel 2.